Sorry, I didn't plan to start with a cough, but excuse me. Good. Hello, everyone. Welcome to March's webinar. Today, I have with me Sushmita Lama, a Class 24 fellow from Nepal. Today, she will be talking about digital security and informing us about what it's about and what she learned about it while she was here, because this was something that even she wasn't aware of, and she learned about it during her fellowship. And she's currently serving at Internews. Without wasting any further time, I do want to acknowledge the fact that we have been trying to record this webinar almost, this is our fourth time, actually, but which is why you're getting the webinar email late as well. So thank you for your patience. And I'm going to leave because I have a really bad cough, and I'm going to leave it to Sushmita to talk about her webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you so much for your great introduction. Yes, indeed. This is our fourth time, but I have pleasure recording this webinar again and again. And I'm Sushmita Lama, Class 24. I'm serving at Internews. I'm with the global technology team of Internews. Internews is a non-profit organization that empowers people with access to information and media, and global technology department, where I'm serving right now. It works on digital security and digital rights issue. So today I'm going to share what I've learned in that department. So I'm going to share a bit about digital security, how we can remain secure online. So great. Let's start the presentation. Okay, for today, let me share the contents. Today I'm gonna share what is digital security, why it is important, what are the risk groups, how can we stay safe online, and I will touch upon briefly on women and digital security, and I will share some important resources at the end of my presentation. Let me begin with digital security. Since we are living in a digital world right now, the digital technology has actually changed how we are living right now, how we are interacting with each other, also the way we are doing shopping, we do online shopping, in a sense that we are creating, we are leaving digital footprints everywhere and creating our online digital identity. So digital security is the protection of your digital identity. So it protects and keeps things like password and accounts secure. Actually, digital security is a broad term that includes tools which you can use to secure your identity, assets, and technology in the online and mobile world. And these tools are antivirus software, web services, biometrics, and secure personal devices. And also, I think you have come across several other terminologies, such as digital safety, information security, cyber security, digital hygiene, DigiSec. Don't get confused. It all means the same. It is digital security. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. Why digital security is important. It is important because it helps to maintain our privacy and allow us to have control over our online identity, so that hackers and digital criminals cannot have access to our online identities and can take benefit from it. And since this kind of online identity thieves and criminals are more prevalent now, there is an increase in incidents of online violence, such as cyberbullying, cyberstalking, online harassment, and intimidation. So to protect us or to protect others from this kind of online violence and online crimes, we have to, digital security is very important. Who are at the risk? I would say everyone who has access to digital technology are at risk of this online crimes or online violence. But in terms of vulner- vulnerability, um, we can categorize the risk groups as journalists, women, LGBTQ people, human rights lawyers, environmental activists, and politicians. But then I would say like everyone who have access to digital security or who have online identities are at equal risk. Uh, Now I'm going to share you some tips about protecting your privacy and remaining digitally secure. So there are several tips, but I'm sharing you only the basic tips, which are under your control. Um, um, we can remain digitally secure by improving our computer hygiene, communicating through secure or encrypted channels, being anonymous while browsing internet, creating strong password, keeping regular backups, and following some mobile security tips and social site security tips. Uh, let me uh, let me go more deeper into this point. Let me start with computer hygiene. Computers like cars need regular repair and need a good hygiene. So you have to update your computer's operating system, and you have to install reliable anti-malware software and update that software from time to time. When I say reliable anti-malware software, it means like you have to check. You cannot just install any software available in the market because because some of the software they can have access to your operating system and they can just reinstall themselves. So that is also like a kind of threat. So please be aware and only install reliable anti-malware software, and also do regular backups, because if your information is gone, it's gone. So if you keep your keeping regular backup is also one of the important computer hygiene practice that you can follow. And the other thing is communicating through secure channel. So always try to browse a website through secure channels only. You can see whether the website is secure or not by looking at the address bar, where you can see this HTTPS. HTTPS means HTTP secure. That means they have like security, and most of the websites like Gmail, Facebook, or some of the social security sites that you use have HTTPS. So, but then if you do not see HTTPS, or if you see HTTP, or you can see something like this HTTPS in red color with cross sign, that means it's not secure. And please do not try to check your website in these sites, or do not put, or even if you have to go through the website, do not ever put your personal information there, because this through these sites, hackers can get your personal information about your bank account, and then can go and can steal your old information and steal your money, and other things can happen. Okay, the next thing is communicating through encrypted channels. So encryption adds an extra layer of security Encryption is the safe way of converting your information or data into code to prevent unauthorized access. So encryption scrambles your message and make it readable by anyone except the intended recipient. Um, the most, I think you all know about Signal. Signal is widely considered the most secure messaging apps for calls and texts. And you can download it on Android, iPhone, and sync into your desktop application. Also, messaging apps like WhatsApp, Wire, CryptoCat, they all have this encrypted protocol. And I think you also, most of you are familiar with this term PGP. PGP stands for Pretty Good Privacy. So PGP is a encrypted program that provides cryptographic privacy and authentication for data communication. So if you have to communicate with the with the people in very sensitive countries or very restrictive countries, or journalists or human rights activists in the restrictive countries where they are surveilled by the government, you can send email through PGP so that only the recipient will understand what you're trying to convey in your message, but the other person, even the state even the state cannot read your message. So this is a secure way to communicate with someone uh, who in the restrictive or in the sensitive countries. And other is being anonymous. So actually, you can also browse the internet anonymously. There are many programs like Tor, VPN. Tor allows people to anonymously browse the internet, and VPN, a virtual private network, is a network connection that enables you to create a secure connection to another location, thereby allowing you to appear as if you were in another place, so that nobody will know like where you are. So this kind of tools or programs are very popular in some of the restricted countries, like Russia or Mexico. When you want to browse internet website, but then you don't want to reveal your identity, or or where or in these countries where certain websites are restricted by the government, so you fake your identity and then you can get access to these websites. Another most important point is by creating a very strong password. So you can remain safe online by creating. This is a very simple tip, but then very important tip, by creating a very strong password. So you can create a strong password using 10 or more characters, including both upper and lower cases, numbers, and special characters. And creating password is not enough. You have to change it every 90 days. Your password should be very complex, so that even computer programming cannot read it, cannot identify it. So, and then you have to protect its secrecy. And you can also use password manager to create different passwords, because you have like, I know we all have so many accounts on like Gmail, Hotmail, MSN, whatnot, and then also like we have lots of social sites, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. My suggestion is never use the same password for all of your sites. You have to use different password, and all different passwords should be very strong. So it's better to use password manager, which will not only create your password but also manage your password. So it's easier to manage and create password. And always enable two-step authentication on your all accounts. If you two-step authentication means like if you are using Gmail, the first time you sign in with your password, Google will send short code to your phone that you will then need to type in order to confirm that it is in fact you who is trying to access your account. So if you enable this two-step authentication, if someone or even if you try to log into your account using different computer or from different places, then they will send this code to your phone number. And and once you only after you enter the code, you can get access to your account. So that means it adds an extra layer of security to your online information. And in case of password, you should never use personal information to create passwords. You should never use dictionary words, even like foreign in languages, to create passwords, because these words are easily identifiable by computer programs. So never ever use these words, and never use a common phrase. And also try never write it down or store in the browser. Instead, you can use password manager to maintain your all passwords. And never ever reuse the password, because once your password because hackers will have the information of your old password, and they can use this information to get into your online information. And never ever make a mistake of sharing it with anyone. That is not definitely a good practice. And another very important tip is regular backup. No hard drive is perfect. All are susceptible to mechanical failure or breakage. If you don't have all your data backed in at least two places, then your data is not backup. So please install. There are many programs that you can install to keep your data backup. So always try to keep your information or data backup in at least two places. Let me share some information about mobile security. There are some mobile safety tips that I'm going to share now. Like computer, you should also regularly update the operating system and apps of mobile. You should always try to download apps from trusted sources only, and avoid connection to unsecure Wi-Fi. Even if you have to connect to the unsecure Wi-Fi or the public Wi-Fi, never ever put your private information, your bank information, and always be cautious of unsolicited calls or messages, and always back up your files. Always back up your mobile files. Also, you have to set automatic locks on mobile devices. Most of us, we don't even care, but that is not good. Also, try to limit the personal information given to apps and websites. Manage what is shared online. Be aware of the scope of apps permission. So never ever try to give all your personal information in all the apps. So just see, like, before you download the apps, some apps will ask you to fill form. You have to put your contact information, your full name and all. So just before you put all this information, just check if it is good or not. Let me give you some information on social networking sites. We all use social networking sites like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, MySpace, and for other websites, I don't know. But then we try to give or put our all personal information in LinkedIn. We try to put our like schooling, information about school, colleges, dates, the trainings that we get, and the work we do, everything in LinkedIn, um, which is also not a good practice, because that's how hackers will know about your personal information and will try to get get into other online sites by taking this personal information. So try to limit the information that you share in these online platforms, and always be sure that everything you put on social networking site is permanent. Like once you write or once you put your information, and even after a second, if you remove it, it will be there. So it's always permanent. So you should know what you have posted about yourself and what you're going to post. And also, before clicking links in social networking sites, you have to think. And also, never trust a message um, really is from whom it says it's from. That means like, before you go and check the message from someone's, like, if you think like that message from your friend, just first confirm and then only open. And do not allow social networking sites to scan your email address book. Then they will have access to your email and then other information. Always type the address of your social networking site directly into your browser, or use your personal bookmark. Never open your social networking sites through links. And also, in terms of your social network, be selective about who you accept as a friend. And that means you have to choose your social network very carefully, and be also be careful about installing extras on your site. Uh, let's go into this last slide, that is women and digital security. Here I'm going to touch base upon very briefly on women and digital security. This is a chart created by Women's Media Center, and it shows um, how women are threatened threatened online, and what is its impact. So there are different forms of threat that women face: cyber stalking, gender-based bullying, impersonation, non-consensual pornography, grooming or predation, mob attacks, rape and death threats, doxing, and sweating. So these are the threats that most of that most women face right now online, and their impact is and due to this threat, they have impact on the women's health, emotional uh, emotional issue. Also it 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 affects women's freedom of expression, women's dignity, professional life, civil rights. So the digital security issue is very important for women. We have to teach our women, our sisters, our daughter, our mother about these digital safety tips, and help them to minimize these threats. With this, okay, and these are some of the resources that you can that 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 you can browse, and then look yourself. There are so many information that are available online. I've only shared a very basic, very few tips, but you can go online, and you can have more insight and knowledge on this issue. And with this, I would like to wrap up my presentation. But before that, I would like to request you all, if you are working on digital security space, and if you are working on digital security space, women and digital security, or women and or any other digital rights issue, and if you want to work on this issue, or if you want to learn about this issue, I can connect you with Global Technology Department of Internews. So I think you'll also have my email address, so you can write to me. Then I can forward your email to my boss, and then she will be very glad to help you.
Thank you so much, Sushmita, for such an amazing presentation. I do also want to add quickly that Sushmita is unfortunately graduating soon. Her last day is May 7th. So I would like to, for those of you who want to reach out, please do reach out as soon as possible. Not that you can't email your boss later, but perhaps if you want an in-person meeting, perhaps you should take advantage of the fact when she's in DC till, and perhaps reach out accordingly. Yeah. And hopefully that should be able to, and Sushmita should be able to work it out.
If you're working on women journalists and digital safety issue, then also you can reach out to me or Internews.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And if you guys need any further information, I will be sharing Sushmita's email with you, or you can write to me and I could share it with her as well. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you guys again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.